Good guys, Automotive Performance, reporting to you live from the bunker in beautiful Tinley Park, Illinois. I just wanted to go ahead and I took down the other Chevelle videos, and I went ahead and I wanted to just bring you up to date on this one. So it seems like maybe things have been moving a little bit slow, but not really. We just had a few setbacks, but it's all regular stuff that we want to go ahead and correct before we get the car together. We sent out our LS1 motor to the machine shop to get machined. We got a 4-inch scat crank. We got 11-to-1 CP pistons. We got a stage 4 big camshaft. We hogged out the heads, port and polished. We did a bigger intake valve on there. So this thing's set up to make a lot of horsepower. We keep going back and forth about whether or not we're going to do a Pro Charger. I think we are going to do a Pro Charger. I just spent about a half hour on the phone with Pro Charger to figure out what would be the best kit for this car. And it's the D1SC Pro Charger. They got a package they put together for us. So it's going to make anywhere between 5 and 7 pounds of boost. But this is a 383 now. It's not a 350 anymore. And with the hogged out heads, we needed a little bit more. We're going to need a little bit more supercharger to maintain that boost level. So we went with the, the one size up blower, and then they're going to send us the pulleys and the plumbing and the intercooler and everything that goes along with it. So, but anyway, there was some tolerance issues with the machining that I wasn't satisfied with. We went ahead and got that straightened out. Then we went ahead and, so I went to the other day, well, it was now about over a week ago, I went to go ahead and install the oil pickup tube that you see here. We're not going to use the center baffle because it won't clear the 4-inch crank. So I'm just going to leave that out. There's still a rear baffle in the oil pan down there, you can see. So the rear baffle is going to be enough. But anyway, I went to install the oil pickup tube. This is the oil pump in here is now a Melling high volume, high flow LS oil pump. And just the way it came from the factory, the little screw right here, or the threads in the hole for the little 10 millimeter bolt that holds in the oil pickup tube, it was only threaded about 3 or 4 threads deep. It should have been threaded all the way through the length of the hole. And the first time I went to go ahead and install the oil pickup tube, I threaded it in by hand, to finger tight, and then I went to torque it to 106 inch-pounds, and I barely got to 90, and the thing started just spinning in circles, so it was stripped out. So anyway, I had to take the front cover off, take the oil pump back off, send it back to Melling. They sent me another one, and I went ahead and installed it with the, when you install it, you have to center it on the crankshaft. You use feeler gauges. I just went and bought a bunch of feeler gauge shims, and you got to shim the gears in here to make sure the pump housing is centered when you go ahead and torque it down for the final install. So I did that. So that the pump is perfectly centered within 0.002 thousandths of an inch, and it's installed. And then I'm going to wait to finally torque these down. The front cover, it's a good idea to put the oil pan on it. I mean, you can make it flush and you can torque it down that way, but it's also, if you put the oil pan on at the same time and snug everything up and then get it perfect and then torque it down, then everything will be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in the morning. I've been out here all day today. I took the exhaust while I was working on the engine. I was going back and forth between that, and I was working on the, I pulled the rest of the exhaust down. I got the torque converter off. I got the transmission all disconnected. Transmission's coming out. So there's only, it's only sitting in there by the cross member and a jack stand right now. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that out tomorrow too. And I've already drained all the fluid out of it, and I'm going to go ahead and get it up on the stand. We've got to install a torque converter lockout kit, and then we got to go ahead and clean the housing. And I've already been cleaning the housing on the motor. The motor is almost all the way down to bare aluminum. It looks really pretty. And I'm going to, there's rebuilder's paint all over the transmission. I'm going to have to get the transmission cleaned up the same way, get it all 100% clean and perfect. And then we're going to do a couple of real light coats of 2K primer on the engine and transmission, and we're going to do a single stage candy that matches the paint on the car. So we're going to go ahead and get that going, get this all assembled and set up, and then we can drop the motor and transmission together right back in the car with the new cross member and start getting everything bolted back up. So there might be a little bit more work in fabrication if the customer goes ahead with the Pro Charger. We're going to have to install the intercooler and mock up and do the plumbing for that. So there's lots more to come, but it's going to be about 600 horsepower LS motor. 93 octane. That's just without the supercharger, and if we do the supercharger, we might be looking at, you know, anywhere from 900 to 1200 horsepower, depending on how much boost it'll take. I got all forged bottom end, baby, so 11-to-1 compression. We're ready to go. We're going to start with 5 pounds. We're going to get it dialed in, see how it likes that, and then we'll go from there. We got room to turn it up and make more power, but you don't want to go too far, too fast. So let's go ahead and get this thing, let's get it painted, let's get it candy apple slicked out, and go ahead and get the assembly, the engine and transmission, get it ready to go ahead and go in the car. And if a Pro Charger appears over the next few days during that process, then a Pro Charger appears. And I guess that's getting bolted on too. So either way, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. 1970 Chevelle SS originally was a 454 big block. Now it's a hogged out 383 stroker LS, just monster beast. So I totally appreciate the originality. I appreciate 454 big blocks. They're awesome motors, make tons of torque, tons of power, real impressive. But this 383 LS is going to hold its own real well. So, Good Guys Automotive Performance. Give us a call when you're ready to look good. Give us a call when you're ready to go fast. 224-633-0012 or www.goodguysautomotiveperformance.com. And we'll see you at the racetrack.